Hi guys, good morning. I am doing the 30-day manicure with a Christmas fade. I did a few minutes before, but it disappeared, and the Wi-Fi here is pretty crappy, so I went back to cell service, and so now we should be able to get through this without a problem. I kind of hate that it automatically goes to Wi-Fi when I'm at work because the Wi-Fi around here is so terrible. So, here we go. We are doing her 30-day manicure fade, and so we're just doing the first layer here. Sorry, a little shaky. But you can see that there's a little bit, see how the line of light looks funky right there? I am going to drizzle a little bit right onto there and leave it alone. And I'm just gonna let natural do its thing, and it's gonna self-level into that spot. So on her, so far I've just done a prep, and I used to fix it because she's been going about a month, and I used X-Bond and cured that, and then went straight to this, and this is natural pink. You can use Balance or Enhance, either one. Let's see if we can pull it up. I don't know what happened to me. I'm going to try to pull this up, so if you guys have any questions, I can answer. There we go. Okay, so again, take a little bit of natural, roll it off onto the nail.
Jessica's watching. Hi, Jessica.
Hi, Jessica. Happy Sunday. So there won't be any videos from me for 3 weeks starting Thursday because I'm going on my epic Christmas vacation that I've been planning for a year. So see how this completely smoothed out? So I didn't have to play with it. I just drizzled it in and it smoothed it out and it's good to go. So sometimes you don't have to work so hard. All right, and there's a piece of lint right there. I saw it. But yeah, I will be going on a really fun vacation. So if you're a Facebook friend, I apologize if you get flooded with my pictures of my trip, but we are going to Christmas in Germany.
Sorry, not sorry.
And Austria. Sorry, not sorry. Yeah, I did a post ages ago for one of my clients who wanted to see how I arranged it because we're doing the whole trip for 3 weeks for about $3,000, including flights and apartments. And
I messed up my thumb.
I'll check it.
Okay.
Sorry, I'm trying to fix this.
I just stuck my finger in the cap.
Yeah. That's why I moved you up higher because everyone messes up their pinky half the time.
Huh?
So.
Just kept that going.
Yep, it's not unusual. It's not unusual to be
Let's stick your pinky in the cap.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so I'm going to turn it. So she bumped it a little bit. Just going to pull that down. Fix, fix, fix. So people always go, I hate having to wait until the very end to see what you're going to do. So preview, this is what we're doing. So if you don't want to see how this is done, then you can tune out now. If you do, we're going to be mixing color, foils, glitter, all those things to make a fun fade. Hi, Rose. Oh, I'm glad you love them, Rose. That's good. I know I've been a little bit crazy busy. Well, and sometimes I feel like I'm saying the same things, so I don't do... hold on. You just bashed your finger.
No.
Yeah, you did. So she just turned her ring, and this is what happens, because gotta love clients who like... She messed up her nail by turning her ring, and it's like, wait, I just saw gel sticking to your finger. Bad client.
I was being vain.
Be vain after it's cured.
After it's cured. Jesus. Sorry. I'm teaching you how to be a better client. Don't stick your fingers in the cap. Don't fix your rings.
All right.
Don't chew your nails.
Yeah, you're teaching them all kinds of things today.
Things I'm sure they have never experienced from clients.
All right, so I'm done with natural pink. I'm going to grab my stick. So you're very welcome, Rose. I'm happy that you enjoy them. All right, so we are going to use Creamy Green and Classic Red. So these are part of the options lines. And why am I using these instead of Luxio? Because I use Luxio all the time as well. These have a different tacky layer to them, and they are fantastic when you want foil to stick because you don't have to use any other kind of glue or anything like that. Typically, your foil is just going to stick perfect and you're going to be good to go. So it also is beautiful, perfect red and green for Christmas. So again, Classic Red and Creamy Green. There we go. All right, so she's gonna do the same way I did, which was one green. Did you want it on the thumb and the ring finger? Yeah, so she just wants to copy me today.
I wanna be you.
She wants to be me. So I just did an angular color here, coating of the red. And I'm only gonna do one coat. So there's a lot of steps to this set, and so you have to kind of, you know, in the real world, you've got to find shortcuts to make sure you can get it done in the amount of time you can get it done. One of the shortcuts is because we're using 100% gel, you don't have to worry about it wrinkling. You can put it on just a little bit thicker typically. So I can do one good coat, and that's going to be enough coverage, and it's going to save me time from having to do 2 coats. So it makes it a little bit thinner in a way. I mean, not really, because I'm kind of doing the thickness of 2 coats almost in 1 coat. So, but it helps you save time, which is important in the real world because, well, today I don't have to worry about it because it's just me and Jess. But in the real world, typically I would have to worry about it. Today we get to take as much time as we want. So I'm not concerned with seeing the natural nail there because all I'm going to do is cover it up with a whole bunch of glitter. So that's okay. No one ever has a problem with that, right? Ooh. Okay, so before I do this one, I'm going to take this off and I'm going to shape the edge of this nail. So that it is matching the other nail. That's it. So as you can see, I didn't take the tacky layer off. You don't have to. Just file. If there's a little dust on there, it's perfectly fine. It's all gel. It'll meld together. It's not a big deal. So you want to keep the tacky layer on there. If you do take the tacky layer off to file, wow, there is a screeching child outside. If you do take the tacky layer off to file, then you will want to file the whole nail because you want to make sure your gel is going to continue to stick on every layer. So I don't want to do that, so I just take it off the ones part. All right, she's good. She didn't bump anything. We're good to go. Did I use natural to fix that? Yeah, I used natural to fix that. Do you want it to go the same direction or the opposite direction?
Opposite direction, please.
Okay. And yes, I ask people that because sometimes I've had it where at the end of a service, someone goes, "You did these backwards." And I'm like, well, it's not really backwards. It's just what you prefer. So I ask. And again, I'm not really concerned with it being a super perfect sharp line because once you add all the glitter in there, you're not really going to notice how exact it is. We're just trying to get the idea of it being an angular red and green. Hello. So I'm touching this and getting a little tail because I like to draw my line and then brush down. Just makes it easier. Maybe it's just because doing it this direction, I feel like it's easier. Who knows? Who else here? Marlene, Rose. We got a few else here hanging out with me on a Sunday. Okay, so go on in the light. So that's it for the red and green. Now we are going to foil them. So I have foils here at Love Nails. If you were to come in and buy them, I have tons. I'm also getting them up online soon. I know I keep saying that. I have a lot in my world going on at once, so I just haven't had time. So I'm going to angle this right over where I want it and dab and pull up. Push and pull up. Look at that. Hello.
Hello. Beautiful.
So like I said, using that options colors, the options stick really, really, really well. The tacky layer on it is fantastic. So you don't have to do as much to get what you're going for. Looks like my red on this one, I didn't go up as high as the red on the other hand. So I'm gonna take a look at that and see. Let me see the other hand real quick. Yeah, see, I went way higher on this hand. So I'm gonna add a little bit more on here just to match them. And then we'll add a little more foil. Quick fix, no problem. The green's all right. Yeah. Okay, go ahead and put that back in.
Shake my other hand.
Sure. Okay, so now we are going to get out glitter. So I have our Aurora Silver, which the Auroras are the best. If you haven't used them yet, we have all of them. They have 10 now. They're right here. Loveliness. This one that doesn't have a name yet, this is the new Aurora Pearl. And that one's gorgeous too. So we're gonna use silver today. I've been using a lot of these too, silver and gold at Christmas. But they are all fantastic to have. And I believe if you go to the kit section on my website, you can get them, if you get all 10, you can get them at discount, so. All right, so whenever you open your Aurora colors, you wanna make sure you give it a good stir, because what happens is that this is an options clear base, and that options clear tends to float to the surface. So you wanna give it a good stir. Now, if you don't give it a good stir, what ends up happening is you end up using that options clear, which makes it really difficult if later you wanna do a full coverage of, if you wanna do a full coverage of, say, your Aurora over the top of a color. So you can take your refill of options clear and you can just add a little bit to it. This one is so empty. There we go. Now, what's nice about these refill jars is that when I get this low, I'll actually cut the top off and scrape it out. So you can use every little tiny smidge that's in these. But you can just take your options clear. So if your Auroras are getting a little bit too thick, just take some options clear and remix it to the consistency that you want. So it's gonna come with a lot of glitter and a moderate amount of gel, which I like for doing fades, but if you're doing full coverage coats and you want it to be a little bit thinner, just add some options clear and you'll be good to go. All right, so we're gonna come back to this one and I'm just gonna add that little bit of extra red where I had repainted. Gorgeous. Okay. So after I do that, I'm gonna go straight into my glitter. So this is a glitter fade where I'm fading up to the cuticle. So I'm just gonna take some gel and I'm gonna dab it up and pull down the chunky bits. So let me come a little bit closer. So Auroras are made with 3 sizes of glitter in each pot. And what this allows you to do is to kind of force the chunkier glitter where you want it and the finer glitter where you want it. So I push the finer glitter up, and if I have a big chunky one like that one right there, I'm gonna pull it back down. And that's how you get a more progressive fade, is because you can pull that chunky down and keep the fine up where it's blending into the clear part of the nail. Because you want a good fade, you shouldn't see a line of where you ended the glitter. And to be able to do that, you need a finer glitter than what the rest of the glitter is. So using these Auroras is really handy for that. Excuse me. Okay, and dab it in. And I'm gonna make sure that I get enough on there that it can be my glue. So when I do a Rockstar nail, a Rockstar toes specifically, which is really popular, especially in the summer. I mean, I've had clients that find me online because they Google Rockstar toes in the area and it comes up. Oh my, screeching child. So when you're doing a Rockstar nail, I will typically do 1 coat of color. So whether it be Luxio or Options, a coat of solid, a coat of an Aurora, and then in the wet Aurora, you do your chunky glitter. So it's 3 steps for a Rockstar toe, but it allows you to do it without it getting too messy, which is nice. So I'm keeping all the chunky glitters towards the middle of the nail and the finer glitters up near the top. Wow, someone has a screeching child outside like nobody's business.
It doesn't seem to be moving on.
No, it does not. And the parents do not seem to be caring that they're screeching.
I better figure they're outdoors.
I guess. They're outside businesses.
Do they not know what we're doing anymore?
They must not.
Rude.
Someday I will have quiet. No roosters and no screeching children. So, since you all are listening, I will share with you our big news for those of you that are tuned in. The property, I had posted about a property that we were looking at and how we weren't going to be able to get it because the geologist came out and was like, yeah, you're going to have to drill on any of this property to prove that it's rock, which obviously it is, but for the county to be able to let you drill on it or to build on it, you're going to have to drill down and you're going to have to do an engineering and geologist report. So we had to back out because of the cost of that. Well, our big news is that the sellers came down in their price enough to cover all of that, and we got the mountain. Yay! So eventually I'll be doing nails on top of a mountain. How cool is that? All right, so this is blurred out because this is a printed label apparently. So this is from Sparkles Nail Products. It's their holiday special glitter. I have a little bit of this in stock, but it's not on the website, so you'd have to come in and grab some. But it's a mixture of red, silver, gold. I love it. The only thing I don't like in it is that there's little silver balls that apparently come up sometimes, and that drives me nuts. I have to take it out because it would stick up, and clients don't like that. So I have a little bit of gel on my brush, which is fine because I want the glitter to stick. So I'm going to dab a lot right here in this corner because I want, I don't want her natural nail to show through right there, but then I'm just going to kind of apply less and less as we go up. And that is it. And it's going to blend right in. And then, yay! Hi, Shamika. Shamika is one of my fabulous models that I get to use to compete. If you're going to be in Long Beach, you can meet her and her amazing nail beds. They are amazing. You ever have clients when you go to do your nails, you're just like, how did you grow these? Like, the genetics on her hands are fantastic. Mine are not like that at all.
Neither are mine.
All right, so see how we're just going to kind of put it in, and I'm kind of just blending it up. And one of the nice things about going into totally clear at her cuticle is that as she grows these for the next month, she's not going to notice it as much, and it won't drive her crazy, which is good. Crazy's bad.
Crazy is bad.
So I'm dabbing down here. I want to cover as much of that kind of natural nail area down here at the bottom as I can. And my phone keeps telling me I'm running out of battery. I must not have plugged it in properly last night. Did you ever have that happen where you just must not have plugged it in? Because I certainly have not used it up today. But all we're going to do after we dab all this in is I'm going to top coat with, I know that some people freak out because they're like, don't you have to put a coat on and finish file? No, I don't do all that. So if you use Options Clear or Options Crystal Clear as your top coat, it comes like this. And then it has that refill tube. The tube that I showed you guys, that's the refill tube for these. So you buy a little one, and then you get the refill tube, and when you run low, you just squeeze more into your pot. The reason they did that is because it's UV and LED cured, and they created it back when LED was still quite new, and they were worried that people would cure it accidentally, and then, you know, the giant pots of Options Clear UV are like $73 or something, and so they didn't want people to accidentally cure an entire huge pot of expensive gel. So they created them in these smaller containers with the tube so that you can add more, which is nice, because then if you get glitter in it or mucky in it or anything like that, you can just wipe it out and then put fresh gel in it. So to use Options Clear or Crystal Clear, you buy the little one and then you just get the refill tubes. But you can use that Options Clear or Crystal Clear as your top coat. Now the difference between Options Clear and Crystal Clear, because I know you're thinking that in your mind if you don't know, is Options Clear is our original formula and it's very flexible. They are both soak off. So if you're looking for a soak off builder gel, you would use Options Clear or Crystal Clear. Options Crystal Clear is a hard gel. So it's the hard gel version of Options Clear. So if you are looking to make the nail harder, you can do that. I like purposely to use Options Clear at this point because you already have the hard gel layer with your natural, and when you add flexibility, your nail is going to get stronger. So I just find that the nail is stronger. Harder does not mean stronger. So I know that Options Crystal Clear is harder, but that does not necessarily mean that it's stronger. So I like to add flexibility. So I will use the Options Clear as her top coat. And because it's just a little bit thicker viscosity, it'll float right over all this glitter and you won't have to top coat or finish file. I'm going to get rid of that little lint. And just check this. Oh, see, there's one of those silver balls. They drive me crazy. Okay, gone. I think that's the only one that came out. So I'm just checking down the barrel, and if any glitter was sticking up, I would just tap it down. But everything looks relatively smooth, and the chunky glitter sinks into the Aurora, so it sits in there really well. I'm gonna get out my Options Clear and have it ready so that in about 30 seconds, I'm just gonna top coat this hand, just so you guys can see this real quick, because I don't know if my phone's gonna run dead. So I'm gonna go ahead and finish this hand, and then I'll do this one. Okay, so see how it's getting, like, this is my pot. See all the glitter in there? That's fun. So you can just take some alcohol or acetone and give your jar a good clean out. I don't really mind it in there, to be honest, because I'm pretty much doing this over glitter every time anyway. But you can give your jar a nice little clean out. And grab your Options Clear. Okay, so when you get a new tube of your Options Clear, it's going to have a little doodad on it. So I typically, you can fight with it with your nails, or you can just grab it with your nippers and do that. And that works really well. And then you put this back on and squeeze. I still see glitter in the bottom, but that's okay. I'm not going to play with it. It's not that necessary. So you can just squirt it out and put it away. So this comes in 25 grams, and this little pot is 4 grams. So this will last you for quite a few refills. All right, so to top coat this, I'm just going to grab a good amount of the Options Clear, and I'm going to push it around the cuticle just like you would any kind of gloss, and float it over the nail. There's a little spot there. And you can look at the line of light. See how it's perfectly straight down that nail? Perfectly straight. So you don't have any bumps. So you can completely eliminate finish filing by using Options Clear for your top coat. So I'm going to push it all the way around the cuticle, make sure it's going to be able to grow out good and shiny, and just gloss it over the nail. I touched the finger a little. If you do that, wipe it out. Now your Options Clear is a little bit runnier, so I'm going to flash cure her after her index finger before I turn it sideways so that, so that gravity does not pull my gel sideways, because I want to make sure that it's perfect, because this is the finished coat. This cures for 30 seconds technically in an LED light, but I typically cure it for a full minute. I find that the shine comes out just a little bit better. So I'm going to just check this again. Once you get product in the cuticle, it's like a floodgate being open, and you really have to check it multiple times to make sure it doesn't run. And because it's a runnier gel and her finger was sticking up, that does that. So I'm just going to double check it, make sure I don't see any bumps, and we're going to flash that, go and put it in for a few seconds. And we're just going to go 1, 2, 3 and come back. And that's enough so it's not going to run when I do the thumb. Enhance works just as fast. Any of the LED cured gels, you can flash them, and within seconds they're setting, so it does not take much time at all. So you can check the line of light. If you see somewhere that's low, you can grab a little tail and glide it in, and it will melt right into your wet coat. So that first coat is called a slick layer or a wet coat, and you can drizzle on top of that and it'll sink right into it. All right, go ahead on in for a full cure. And I'm just gonna flash it real quick, and then I can show people and we'll say goodbye. All right, come back. All right, so these are the Christmas nails, so pretty. So all I'm gonna have to do with this is just finish, wipe, and then I file the edges as usual. But that's foil glitter. Good fun. All right, guys, Merry Christmas. We'll see you guys later. Bye.